What it be, what it be, what it do, what it do. It's your host Dave with the Dave and Blue Show. Tell your mama, your cousin, and your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. We lit. Yeah. It is time. It's game week. It is hate week. It's game week. Let's go. The Wolverines will be playing the Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday, November 29th. At noon Eastern time, the big noon kickoff of all big noon kickoffs. It's the game. Everything leads up to this. So, yeah. We are going to look into our major keys, and I'll give you guys my prediction. I will be on the road tomorrow traveling, so I'm going to be trying to figure out a way to watch the game, have some family stuff. So, traveling, but yes. So, we're going to, get you guys the major keys and what we have to do to win, and we'll go from there. So, yeah. Major key number one, we always start on offense. So, establish the run game. We have to establish the run game if we're going to try and beat Ohio State. Yes, this statistic has been beaten to a pulp and then revived and beaten to a pulp again. The winner of the rushing battle, the most rushing yards, has won the last 25 games, or 23 games, I'm sorry. So, they only allow 80 yards rushing a game, but they haven't played the Michigan offense yet. So, obviously, we know we can run the ball, and they're going to have to be ready for it. And we're going to have to establish our run game quickly and effectively. Jordan Marshall and Bryson Cusdahl, and also Bryce Underwood to an extent. We're going to have to be able to run the ball on Ohio State, and that's going to be key for us because they've been obviously stopping the run, and but they have not faced a rushing attack like Michigan. So let's look here at our rushing stats for the season, because I just want to put into perspective how much we usually run for. Stats for the season. We have been averaging a decent amount through the ground. Jordan Marshall has 871 rushing yards. And total, our rushing attack has gotten 2,458 rushing yards. So you're looking at Jordan Marshall right now with 871 rushing yards. And he's only been starting since Justice Haynes went down. And also, he missed a game last week, and he's still at 871 rushing yards. Justice Haynes at 857. Bryce Underwood has 322, and Bryson Cusdahl has 206. So we have a pretty solid rushing attack. Jordan Marshall has 10 rushing touchdowns. Cusdahl has 4. Bryce has 5. So the rushing attack is there. We just have to be able to get it going. I believe that averaging per game, I want to say Jordan Marshall is at around 100, probably 100 plus, I want to say. 871 divided by 11. Yeah, so either way, we have to establish the ground game, and we have an offensive line that is in the Joe Moore award list, so we'll see how that goes, right? Obviously, Ohio State has a great defense, a great defensive line. The team all around from top to bottom, Ohio State is stellar, as they normally are. So, I mean, there's really nothing new there. We have to establish the ground game, and that is one of our main keys to beat them. Major key number 2, low to no turnovers. We have to have the smallest amount of mistakes as possible. We have to limit our turnovers. We cannot give them any opportunities because they will make good on those opportunities. They will really, really take advantage if we throw interceptions or fumbles. So Can't have it. Turnovers can't happen. Last year we turned the ball over twice, and that almost killed us because we were on the goal line for one of those. And we have to win the turnover battle. So, major key number 2: do not allow turnovers. Do not turn the ball over. Major key number 3: Bryce Underwood is going to have to be able to have a great game. Bryce Underwood, I'd argue, is going to have his best game of the season. I keep hearing everyone say, "Oh, Bryce Underwood needs to just make sure he doesn't do too much, doesn't go outside of himself and really try and prove anything." I say, prove a point, brother. I say do whatever he needs to do to win the game and play as well as he possibly can. They need to. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's been playing well and they've been throwing the ball with him and he's been able to run it. So it's not like they have him locked up, I don't believe. They need to throw out all the stops, everything. Runs, QB sneaks, deep passes, intermediate passes, short passes, whatever they can do to get this man going. Whatever they can do to get Bryce Underwood up and going at full strength, full speed, whatever he's got to do to win that game. I'd say you need him to look. I'd say he needs to play and look elite tomorrow to win the game. So that's what we're going to say. Major key number 3, Bryce Underwood needs to absolutely look like Superman. I'd say he needs to look like Batman, Superman, whatever superhero he likes. Look like that guy tomorrow. That's what I will say. They only allow 126 passing yards a game, and I believe Bryce is averaging around, let's see here, Bryce is passing he's averaging 62.2% completion, which is not horrible. It's pretty good. And so all in all, we need him to really ball out tomorrow. So I believe he can do that. He has the capability to do that. I'd argue that if any game was going to be the most impactful and most important time to have your best possible game, it's this one. This is where you start off your Michigan legacy, essentially. They say it. They judge it on how you play against Ohio State and your record against Ohio State as a Michigan player and your record against Michigan as an Ohio State player. That's your legacy, how they'll remember you and that type of thing. So as far as that goes, man, let's see it. 4, our minor key is we have to put points up in the red zone. We have to score touchdowns in the red zone. Ohio State has an elite red zone defense. Again, they have not faced Michigan yet. They have not faced a rushing attack as strong as ours. Texas, maybe, but they haven't faced a rushing attack as strong as ours. And our passing attack is no slouch either. Bryce Underwood has 2,100, I believe, 66 passing yards on the season. 2,166 passing yards on the season. So this is already better than what we had last year, and we won last year throwing for 62 yards and 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. So, hey. So moving on to the defense, our major keys for the defense are: 1, please pressure Julian Sand. We must get pressure on Julian Sand. He cannot be able to breathe. He can't be allowed to breathe. He can't be able to drop back and sit in the pocket and wait all day for Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate to get open on their drag routes, post routes, any type of route. You cannot give this dude time, any type of time, to get passes off to anyone, because he has elite receivers and he will pick you apart if you give him the time to think through things and to be able to move or stay in the pocket, whichever. So pressure Julian Sand. I think Derek Moore, TJ Guy, Jayshawn Barham, I think they can do it. Please, Wink, just don't blitz a million times. He's going to blitz, so it's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of if those blitzes can get home or not. We really need those blitzes to get home. So pressure Julian Sand. He's got a 79% completion rating because he's got time to sit back there and throw it. And he also has elite receivers to throw it to. So, major key number 2, attempt to limit, slow down, or stop Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, because if we're being 100% honest, those two guys are the most important people on their offense. In my opinion, those two guys and Julian Sain are the three most important people on their offense. Take away those two guys or take away Sain, the offense looks different. They have a great offensive line. I'm sure their running backs are pretty solid. They have great tight ends, but I'm telling you right now, those three are what make that Ohio State offense the most dangerous offense in the country. It is what it is. Those three make that offense the most dangerous in the country. So, Jeremiah Smith's got 902 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, and Carnell Tate has 711 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, got to stop those guys, man. Have to. That is the way you win this game. If you allow Ohio State to have... If Julian Sain has a stat sheet with anything around 250 plus passing yards and if his passing completion percentage is good and he's able to get those yards and get those passes and stand back there, it's going to be a long, extremely long day. Now, I will say a point of data that we can look back at is in 2021 when we played Ohio State, and C.J. Stroud had like 300 plus passing yards and I think three passing touchdowns, but it didn't matter because we controlled the time. I think we controlled the time possession and we scored rushing touchdowns. That was Hassan Haskins when he had 5 touchdowns that game. That was incredible. So we have seen their offense explode through the air and still lose the game. So I would not bank on that game plan for tomorrow. I would not want that to happen. That being said, that 2021 offense was also elite, if not, I'd say even they had better receivers than Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith because they had a young Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, possibly Emeka Ibuka, and was it maybe Garrett Wilson? I believe Garrett Wilson was in that game. So that receiving room was insane in 2021. So, but they're going to pass the ball. They're not gonna run. They're going to, but they're not. I mean, they're gonna run the ball if they absolutely have to. I don't see them coming out and just trying to run the ball on us just left or right. That's not what they're gonna do. So, our third major key is if they do run, stop the run. Bo Jackson has 835 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. He's averaging about 6 yards a carry, which is not bad at all. So, our run defense is solid, though. Michigan's run defense is very, very good. We are in, I believe, the top 15 for defense. I will look here on the stats. Rushing... Let's see, for opponents would be, let's see. Let's see if I can look this up here really quickly because I definitely would like to show you guys what we allow. Michigan cumulative stats are pretty important. So these are pretty solid because you can go through and check what we do, how well we do, and what we are able to accomplish when we play well or when we don't. We are going to come back to that, but stopping the run is something that we do well. Rush defense rank. We are 9th in the country. In 2024, we were 9th in the country. We are currently 17th in the country, and I believe this might be total defense. Let's see, though. Well, I'm not sure here. Regardless, we have a very good rush defense, and they're going to have to prove it tomorrow because Ohio State will try and sneak in runs here and there for sure. So, finally, our minor key: do not get beat with big touchdown passes over the top. They're going to try to bring it back to the 2010s with all those second half bombs that we used to deal with. They're going to try to beat us over the top, and we can't allow that. So, the defense and the team in general prepared for Ohio State every day, and they know what Ohio State's going to do and try to do. And yes, Ohio State has a different coordinator, and yes, they have attempted to play the games, their season this year a little differently with Brian Hartline. But at the end of the day, they are the quintessential college passing offense. They're just going to throw the ball on you. They'll run if they have to, but they're gonna try and beat us through the air this game. So, Jair Hill, Zeke Berry, Brandon Hillman, TJ Metcalf, Jaden Mangum, Jaden Sanders, Jordan Young, Elijah Dotson, Mason Curtis. All of our defensive backs are going to have to be on 100% focus, 100% awareness for 100% of their snaps, because they're going to be tested tomorrow. It is what it is. USC was an elite passing offense, and I think statistically USC is about the first number one passing offense. But in my opinion, like, this Ohio State passing offense is crazy. So with USC, it was really two guys. It was Lemon and it was number 8. But with Ohio State, it's Ennis, it's Claire, it's Tate, it's Smith. It's probably their backup receivers, because their backup receivers were probably number 1 in their classes as well. Ennis was the number 1 receiver in his class. And he's the receiver 3 for Ohio State right now. So, yeah. I will do my prediction today, too, since tomorrow I will be on the road, and I don't think I'll be able to make my analysis/reaction video until later on, or on Saturday, or even Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. So, because we'll be traveling. And so, if we had been blown to smithereens last season against Ohio State, like they promised they were going to do, I would be nowhere near as confident as I am this year going into this game. We have an improved offense all around. We have, respectfully to Donovan Edwards and Kalel Mullings, I think we have better running backs this year. We have a passing attack. We finally have a passing attack. We have a legitimate quarterback. We did not have a quarterback last year. We had some guys, respectfully to them, we had some guys back there who were trying to be quarterbacks. We have a legitimate quarterback now. We have a receiving threat for the first time in a minute. Andrew Marsh is no joke. Ohio State has, all these guys, but we have Andrew Marsh and Donovan McCulley. Specifically, those two. Specifically, Andrew Marsh has been solid. Klein is I believe, healthy, so Klein, we'll see what he can do. Zach Marshall's come on. Yeah, so, and our defense, right? Our defense is not as impressive or impactful as far as the interior defensive line was last year, because you just can't replace Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, especially not easily. But Rayshawn Benny, Eno Etta, Trey Pierce, Trey Williams, Damon Payne, and then the edge rushers, Dom Nichols, Barham, Derek Moore, TJ Guy, Cam Brandt. Our defense is still good. Our defense is not some pushover, and that's just what Ohio State thinks. All the pundits, everyone is like, Michigan doesn't have a chance. 5 in a row, that could never happen. Oh, please, Ohio State's this, Ohio State's that. Ohio State is this and that every year. It is what it is. They are the best team in the country basically every year when we play them. And guess what has happened these last few years? The same result. We have won. So they act as if every year it's just completely new, and we're facing the Avengers. It's completely new, and Ohio State is just insurmountable. And last year was a testament to that. They're not unstoppable. I mean, yes, they went on and won the national championship, but we beat them. We're the 1%. I like to say that. We're the 1%. Everyone else in the country forgets how to play football when Ohio State steps on the field except Michigan. It is what it is. They have this mental edge over everyone in the country except Michigan. So, that is what it is. So, I'll give you guys my prediction. I'll say Michigan wins 24-21 tomorrow. If we hold them under 25 points, I think we win. If they get anywhere above 25 and just, I don't know if we can, I don't know. That's a tall task if they especially if they take an early lead. That's another thing too. Our defense cannot allow a scripted drive to just waltz downfield and put up 7 points for them really easily right off the bat. If we get the ball, I'd almost say we should start with the ball and see if we can score first, because Wink, man, you're going to have to call a game tomorrow, dude, because that letting the other team waltz downfield and score an easy first touchdown to get points on the board is not the plan of attack against Ohio State. It just isn't. If you let them go up 7 quickly, and if we have a 3-and-out or God forbid we have multiple 3-and-outs on our first few possessions and they score on their first few possessions, it's going to be a long, long day. A long day. It is what it is, man. So, the defense is going to have to come out hitting. The offense is going to have to come out firing on all cylinders. We're going to have to play borderline perfect game all game. So, but I think we can beat them if we hold them under 25, and if it's, as long as this game is manageable or even one score or a few points, if we can keep it tied or within one score the second half, then I really, 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 really think we win. If the score is not close after halftime, if we're down 10 after halftime, if we're down 10 or 14 after halftime, I don't know. But if at halftime we're 10-10 or 17-14 or 13-10 or 17-14 or 21-20 or 23-20 or anything close, we got ourselves a ball game. If we can get to that fourth quarter tied up, or get ourselves in that fourth quarter down 3 or up 7, I like our chances. So I'll say if we win, I'll say 24-21. If we lose, I want to say it'll be close, but I feel like if we lose, it might be by a decent amount. So, I'm going 24-21, Michigan wins. Go Blue. I'm not picking against my team, not after what I saw last year. Last year, I was convinced we were going to lose. Last year, I was thinking, yeah, they're actually going to hang that 100 on us. Didn't happen. So, yeah. Like Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible. That's how last year was as far as beating them. So, yeah, 24-21, man. Tell your mama, your cousin, your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. Go Blue. It's game week, baby. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, too. Go Blue, man. Let's get it.